Cancer, this is your week ahead astrology forecast from Astrology Motivation by Born Without Boundaries. We're going to go over the major planetary aspects and transits and how they impact your natal sun. So if your natal sun is somewhere between 0 and 9 degrees Cancer, you are a Cancer 1 because your natal sun lives somewhere within the first decan or group of 10 degrees of Cancer. If your natal sun is somewhere between 10 and 19 degrees, you are Cancer 2. And then if your natal sun is falls somewhere between 20 and 29 degrees Cancer, you are a Cancer 3. If you don't know where your natal sun is, that's okay, because in this video I'll go over the dates that sort of correlate to each of the decans. But understand that the dates do change because every single year the sun isn't in the same place and Cancer season begins and ends at different times. It's about the same place, so it's a pretty good estimate, but if you really want the specifics, go grab yourself a free natal chart. You can get them anywhere on the internet. Just search it and it'll pop up a website that'll produce a free natal chart for you. All you need is your birth date, which you already have, your birth time, and your birth location, where you were born. And all that information is on your birth certificate. So either pull out the birth certificate or call it mom, because I'm sure she has that information. Yes, I am in fact wearing the hat that I wore yesterday. If you haven't gotten yours, please go get it. These are so freaking cute. They are available in white and black. And you can see the black version here on my t-shirt. These are also available in white and black, all with your Cancer zodiac symbol in full spectrum, Born Without Boundaries, full spectrum. I just love it. And then of course you got the pants too. These are the cozy, comfy pants with the pattern on them for Cancerians. And if you're cross-watching for some reason, I have them in every zodiac sign. So all 12 zodiac signs, I've produced the glyph onto these t-shirts. And these just summer fashions, summer looks to hang out at the beach or by the pool or just chilling around. It's such a cute look. And these are really great quality too. These aren't just nastiness. This is like a metal clasp in back. They're adjustable. It's just such nice stuff. So let's get into your week ahead. So what we're going to do is we're going to start really, really broad. Oh, I'm sorry. You can get these on my website. Just go to my website, www.bornwithoutboundariestarot.com, and you'll be able to see them in the shop. Just click right on and get right to it. There's a bunch of stuff there. And enjoy yourself. Just these cute little summer things. I love it. So this is your week ahead astrology forecast for April 21st through the 27th. So there is a bunch of stuff that's happening for everybody. So I'm going to start with the real broad stuff that's impacting all of us. And then we're going to double down and get deeper into what's specifically impacting Cancerians and how it's impacting Cancerians. And then we're going to get into the decans about how it's impacting your natal suns in particular. I encourage you to watch the entire video, not just your part of it, because if you love astrology, are you kidding me? So you ready? Let's go. Broadly, April 21st is when Mercury goes retrograde. Now, we've been feeling this ever since last week's reading, and I think I even addressed it a little bit there. You could go back and watch that reading if you want after this reading, but you could already feel it because Mercury was already slowing down. It's stationed direct on the new moon solar eclipse, which was just yesterday, which was on the 20th. And remember, that's when the energy pops off. And so I feel like the energy is so much more profound and around us now from the solar eclipse, new moon in Aries. But Mercury has gone retrograde, literally retrograde today. That is technically when it started to move backwards. And it will be going backwards until like May 15th. So for the next 3 weeks, Mercury is in retrograde, and then it's going to take about a week afterward for it to really, position itself direct again, to be able to for us to be able to actually observe it starting to move forward and get back in the swing of things. So what does that mean? Well, this Mercury retrograde is in Taurus, and it's in the second decan of Taurus, which means it's mid-Taurus. It's between 10 and 19 degrees Taurus. that's important because Cancerians, especially for the second decan Cancerians, this is sextile to you. So how is a Mercury retrograde going to be helpful? Because sextiles are angles that for astrologers represent opportunity. So what kind of opportunity is going to come from a Mercury retrograde? A lot, actually, and we'll definitely get into it. But this is when Mercury retrograde begins. In terms of the moon, and as Cancerians, I always encourage you to please go find your moon sign. First go find your moon sign, absolutely. And if you're running your natal chart, you will be able to find your moon sign easily. It'll tell you in that natal chart where your moon sign is, because those characteristics are things that you are going to assume throughout your entire life. And you could even act more like that than a Cancerian where your sun sign is, because the moon is your ruler. But wherever the moon is, also get a moon calendar, because you need to know as a Cancerian where that moon is. Because every 2.5 days it changes and our energy will shift, our focus will shift. That's why people always accuse us of being so moody, but we're not moody. We're actually just reacting to our ruling dignitary constantly switching zodiac signs, which is switching characteristics. So always know where the moon is, and we're going to go through right now where the moon is. So it hits some important spots. This Friday, so that's April 21st, Mercury is conjunct Uranus. That's another big one that we have to talk about. Let's go back. Mercury is conjunct Uranus this whole week in retrograde. Mercury in retrograde. It conjuncted Uranus all week last week. And if Mercury were going direct, that conjunction would be over. Because it's now in retrograde, it's going to stick around with Uranus for a while. What does that mean? For all of us, that means genius. That means brilliance. That means some major technological advancements or discoveries coming through and the message going global. That's what it means. It could also mean something sort of sweeping over big tech, like a review almost of big tech or big discoveries or big ideas. Going over it and seeing, how is everything? Is everything going good? Like, is everything on the up and up? Is there some shady stuff going on there? All of those things will come up during this retrograde because Mercury, while in retrograde, is conjunct Uranus. That's actually huge because it volumizes Mercury. It makes it's not just about petty little stuff anymore. Like, I didn't get that email, or why isn't my phone working? Because I've already started to feel that last week. But with Uranus, it's also a sense of what hasn't been discovered, or like, what haven't we thought about, or does this function, does this right? So it could be much larger, broader scale feeling, like impact of the Mercury retrograde because it's conjunct Uranus now, especially for big tech. Just to let everybody know, the moon on Friday, or today, is conjunct this Mercury-Uranus conjunction. So I was definitely getting back to you guys. What does that mean? For us, it means brilliance. It means a day of real enlightenment. It means a day of putting everything together and maybe seeing things or understanding things in a way that we couldn't before because we're looking at it differently. So this could be a very productive and just brilliant day for us. So I also wrote this down. Stuff will come up that will surprise you, and it will surprise how it makes you feel. The stuff that I'm talking about are these issues, these mechanical issues, these technical issues. Like I said, they're going to be bigger than you imagined, and it will kind of shock you. Not shock you, but Uranus loves to surprise people. It will surprise how the emotional impact it has on you. This is Friday, or today. By Sunday, the moon is conjunct Venus, and Venus is in Gemini. While it's conjunct Venus, it is quincunx to Pluto. So what does this combination mean? Well, Sunday, it's a change in your feelings, or feelings that change what you value. So love, relationship, sure, but also finances, money, those things. There's some sort of change It's frustrating. It's a quincunx, right? So it's going to be frustrating. It's not necessarily going to be the easiest day when it comes to the endings. Pluto brings endings. And there's almost a sense of now you kind of can't ignore what's been happening, especially in your relationships or with your finances. You can't ignore it anymore. And it is going to be frustrating. So then we move on to Tuesday when the moon conjuncts Mars. Mars is in Cancer. Cancer is the moon's domicile, right? It's like Cancer. The moon is coming home. So that means the moon is in Cancer and it's conjuncting Mars and trining Saturn. Take action, fast, but action that is in harmony with your larger responsibilities. And this will pay off really well for us. Thursday on 4/27, the moon is going to be in opposition to Pluto because it is probably at the end of Leo. Done, finished, ended, emotions extreme. This will be when emotions pop off. It'll be a very emotional time for you, and it could be when you decide, or when you decide like enough is enough, I'm done, or you have that mentality all day and it really kind of like drags your ass. Just an FYI. So let's go into the decans. Cancer 1. All week long, your natal sun is going to be sextile the current sun, which is just into Taurus now. The sun entered Taurus on April 21st, right after that new moon in Aries. So that's another big transit. The sun transits into Taurus. So what do? Now there's illumination on value and riches and earthly value, earthly resources, luxury items, but also a sense of value and tradition, maintaining things, taking care of things. Family, home, all of those things are also very Taurus energies. That's why they're so compatible with Cancerian energies. So your natal sun is sextile to current sun all week long. So this is an energy of confidence. It's an energy of courage. It's an energy of inspiration. And maybe for some of you, even romance. It is definitely a time to shine. So that is a blessing for you this week. Okay. This is Mercury retrograde for me, guys. I'm just letting you know this right now. Like, I do not speak. I haven't been able to speak or formulate my thoughts for a while. My Mercury is in Leo, and that means Mercury now for this whole retrograde is pretty much square to my current Mercury, and it is messing me up. So I apologize. I'm just going to have to try to work through this. Your natal suns are also sextile to the North Node. That has been a long-standing aspect, and it will be through July. Your natal suns are sextile to the North Node, which means they're also trine to the South Node. This is actually really beautiful energy because it means there's something to look forward to. And with the sextile to the sun, this is a sense of I have courage to go after. Expect advancement this week. Expect that you're going to be able to take moves and make progress toward the future that you want, Cancer ones. This is actually a really beautiful week for you. Your natal suns will be trine to Saturn, I have here. Yep. Your natal suns are trine to Saturn, which is at 4 degrees Pisces right now. That's going to help you out a lot because authority figures, rules, laws, regulations, contracts, all of this is harmonizing or going really well for you. So once again, especially in your career, and this is a long-term aspect, so especially in your career, things are actually going to start going nicely. You're going to start seeing progress. Now, Saturn moves slowly, of course, so it's not going to happen over the day, but over this next year, you're going to see a nice sort of harmony, or not luck, but progress and settling in to your career, for your career. This is another long-standing aspect that we got to talk about. Your natal suns are quincunx to Pluto. This is going to be for a couple of years. There's frustration and agitation in changes. So there's going to be frequent and extreme changes in your life, and they're not necessarily going to rub you the right way. It's almost like feeling like you're forced to do something. But honestly, I think this is the universe inspiring you. You are. Go forward, push. A lot of times, Cancerians, we stay stuck. We stay stuck in our comfort zone. And that quincunx to Pluto is letting me know that you guys are not meant to do that. You guys are meant to be pushed forward and make things happen. So get on it, especially this week with that sextile to the current sun. That's going to help you out a lot. Cancer 2s. So this week and for a while, your natal suns are conjunct to Mars. Mars will move slowly. It'll start moving on in the next couple of weeks, but for this week, your natal suns are still conjunct Mars, which gives you a lot of wonderful energy and stamina. So it's a good time to work out, get into your physical body. It's a great time to use the energy productively, which you will because you guys are blessed with a sextile to this Mercury retrograde Uranus conjunction. All week long, it is working for you. And it's not just going to be all week. This is going to be while Mercury is retrograde. So this is for a while because your natal suns have been sextile to Uranus for a while. But now Mercury is sitting right on top of that. And that's for the next couple of weeks. And you guys are going to see that there is just things that start to unravel when it comes to technology, but somehow it works for you. There's some sort of opportunity because you can use your mind in ways that you haven't been able to use your mind in a while. Breakthroughs, especially with technology. So if you work in technology, this is a great couple of weeks that are coming for you. And long-term aspect, your natal suns are square to Chiron. Chiron is not getting much traction now. There's been a lot of energy that came out of Aries. So Chiron has been square to your natal sun for a while. And it's not that it won't impact you, but what you've been dealing with and how you've been dealing with that square, which is low self-esteem, feeling not good enough, feeling like you're never going to be good enough. Because when Chiron squares your sun, that's what happens. But it's asking you to actually question why I don't feel good enough. Like, why? What can I do to improve my situation? And so it can also serve as a great inspiration for you as well. And this week, I think there's just some it's not magic, it's opportunity happening for you in ways that you've felt lame or in ways that have made you feel like you were lesser than. So this is a really beautiful week for you guys. And then we have Cancer 3s. So this is for those of you who are born toward the end of Cancer, usually the last week and a half of, not last week and a half, usually July 12th through the 22nd, something like that. Like I said, those dates are estimated, but your natal suns are square to Jupiter. That's hard. That's rough energy because it means that you have the stamina, you want to grow, you want to expand, but other people don't seem to be agreeing with what you think of yourself, or you just feel like there's opportunities out there, but you can't connect with them or reach them. Can be very frustrating, so just try to slow yourself down. It is very difficult to do this under this conjunction, but if you do, grounding yourself, go to the beach. I know being in the water actually helps ground Cancerians. It actually does. So put yourself in a bath, especially a salt bath to help take toxins out. Go to the beach, go to natural water if you're around there, if you can. Definitely go. It will help to pacify you so you don't want to move too quickly on things. Long-term aspect is also the trine to Neptune. Now, the trine to Neptune and the square to Jupiter. How is that impacting you and your natal suns combined? Big head, could be. Lots of expansion, could be guided by the unknown. Willing to take risks that have not been weighed but are based on faith. So it's almost like what's really going to be tested for you Cancerians is your faith. Like, can you slow it down? Can you let things just unfold? Instead of trying to rush things, can you trust? Because remember, both Jupiter and Neptune are very much faith-based. Jupiter is faith-based based on the earth, like what's happening, faith, religion, philosophy on the earth. Neptune is faith-based on God and the unexplainable. So there's a sense of Neptune you're trying to, but Jupiter you're square to. So it's almost like you don't feel like God's acting quick enough for you. But it is 100%. And if you can just slow down, ground yourself, and get near the water, you will hear what you need to hear and feel what you need to feel to calm your asses down. If you were born at the very, very end of Cancer season, if you are on the Cancer-Leo cusp, your natal suns for the next couple of years, or at least the next year, is going to be in opposition to Pluto. That means major changes are happening in your life that you're not going to be able to control. So the exercise in fluidity and going with the flow is actually going to help you for this next couple of years. It's definitely something you should put into your put into your daily meditation practice, or if you don't have it, start it. It'll help you. Like salt baths, cool down at least once a week, maybe every other day. Just be by the water as much as possible. So if you guys are experiencing any of this energy in different ways, put it below. Let me know. I would love to hear your comments. Also, don't forget to go over to Born Without Boundaries Tarot and check out your week ahead tarot card reading. Subscribe to this channel and definitely check out the shop because I would love for you guys. It's so cute. I love you so much, and I will talk to you next week.